That's not enough time. That is so not enough time.
We need some spoopy music. What's going on with that?
It's like the generic one that they give you with StreamYard. If you want a cooler one, you have to make your own. And I'm just like, that's so lame. Why can't they give you options with it? Like,
I know.
it's like New Year's Eve in an elevator is what that reminds me of.
Like, is it like where you're drunk and trying to end the night and you're just like swaying back and forth in your elevator?
It's my jam, guys. It's like that countdown for the show.
What do you call? Well, we used to have one before, like the recorded stuff, but I can't find that music. So it's bumming me out.
That was cool though.
I'll look for it. I will look for it.
Maybe we'll find something better.
Oh, yeah, or better. Yeah, that would be nice too. I wouldn't mind that one bit. Hey, Dan and Shelby, thank you for joining us so far. I'll get my share on too right now, but I just want to say thank you to everybody who's already tuning in. Awesome to see you guys.
Welcome to another Thursday in hell.
God dang it.
It's so weird that today wasn't in the hundreds.
I know.
It wasn't like it's dark too. Like
most of California is technically over 100 if you're counting the floor. So.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh my God.
The smoke is like putting a layer over us here in Kern County, so where we're not getting burnt by the sun as bad, but we are inhaling smoke
on top of the smog.
Yeah.
Let me add to that problem right now.
Right.
There we go. Come on.
Over here, like.
Call it. I've basically been smoking a cigar 24/7 with this fire.
You're the cause of it. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Walking around here is like walking around in a casino in Vegas all day.
Dark and smoky.
Yeah.
Everything's overpriced.
That's 100% California right now.
Speaking of, you're back.
I am back. It feels good to be back. I'm still trying to get in the routine of being a normal human being again, which I never really was, so that's okay. But the good news is the movie's coming along just fine. Whenever I get a chance to work on it, I am. I promise you guys. A lot of big news with the cigar stuff going on. Just life in general coming fast and hard at Miguel, but it's a lot of good stuff too.
So. That's what she said.
Okay, at least life knows how I like it, all right?
You don't have to tell it to pull your hair. It just doesn't.
Fast and disappointing.
But it always leaves me cab fare home, okay?
Aww.
I'm just teasing.
Considerate.
That's a nice thing, yeah.
Gentlemanly of the world.
Richard, Miguel Cigar Fires 2020. Hey, it's not like I was announcing baby's gender or something and lit California on fire. That wasn't me. That was somebody else, and I'm still pissed at them for basically being the stupidest person in California right now.
On top of locking down, you're running people out of their fucking homes.
Yes. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
I heard they were going to make those people like pay for a lot of the damage. And so many people are like, it was an accident. How dare you? It's like, they weren't supposed to fucking have it in the first place. How much? It's not like they just accidentally fell over a box of fireworks and they went off. It's like,
they're going to prison. You don't have your baby in prison, bitch.
Yeah. It's like, what if I told you, you can just tell people what the fuck your baby's going to be? Nobody gives a shit what your baby's going to be.
Dude, I swear to God, like, the fines that they're going to have to pay, like, they're not going to be able to afford that. They're going to arrest them because they can't pay the shit.
Yeah, they're going to have to, yeah. And then Vicky right here, thank you guys so much. And thank your son for us because we need all the help we can get right now. California California and other parts of the states next to us are just, they're on fire right now. So just, pray for everyone, taking care of it. If you're praying ain't your thing, just positive vibes. Anything helps, just keep them in your thoughts.
And people affected
a lot of brave people to do that.
Oh. I swallowed wrong.
All right, let's giggle at something really quick.
I like that.
Would you rather for this thing? Well, it's not mine. Peanut actually came up with this one because he's sick of all this shit that's going on. So, would you rather squish dog shit in your hand or make out with Gavin Newsom? Those of you in California know what's going on with fucking Gavin Newsom and how he is the one who is responsible for all these fucking shutdowns, making these rules, trying to open up California in color phases in 2022, doing all this shit. So,
you know what? I would say make out with Gavin Newsom. Because I would sit there and I'd probably bite his tongue off in the middle of it and spit it back in his
Yes!
So I'll make out with Gavin.
Okay, I like that. I was all for the shit in the hand because I don't want anything to do with him, but I like that. I would rather, my freaking dog, I'm sure I'll find some dog shit in my yard right now. I would rather grab it right now in my hand. Oh. Yeah.
I would, my first thought was to do both, the dog shit, squeeze it, go up to him, like, nah, no, this for you. You don't get none of this. All right. But even if I decided to go blackmail style, it would probably help in California to make out with a minority figure like this. I would get him plenty of votes. This face right here. So that's not going to happen. I will not do anything to help that man. Yeah, I don't want to say I hate him because I don't want to hate someone I've never met before, but it's kind of hard not to.
I hate what he's doing to our state right now.
Have you ever thought that to yourself? Like, you don't want to hate someone you never met, but fuck, you're not helping yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Excuse me.
I don't spend forever hating him.
Lord, I've done more than I thought I would.
I hate him.
Just like I only hate him till I flush the toilet. And I'm over him.
Then I feel better. I got problems.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's a good one because that one hits close to home right now for at least us.
For us Californians.
Yep. Although I think
what's up? Strange. I don't know what.
That's what I was hoping for.
Okay, it's a slight delay on my side. Sorry. Hi. I see somebody back there. I saw somebody. Was it a ghost? What was it?
No,
there it
it's
is again. It's the ghost of a child. Oh my God, Miguel, run! It's behind you.
Love you.
I love you too.
Those are the children that he's hiding in his house. He's got held prisoner.
He's got a sweatshop down there to roll cigars and shit.
It's the other way around, okay? I'm being worked like a Taiwanese 6-year-old making sneakers for these kids. But I love them, so I wouldn't have it any other way. So
6-year-old making iPhones in China?
You call it. I kind of wish I knew how to make iPhones. So I would take a day interning for them, just an idea. Let's go into this strange news, please.
Okay.
Those kids distracted us.
I know. Oh, so apparently in 1983 in Pennsylvania, a man named Don Decker had some weird occurrences happen. Growing up, age 7 and older, he had his grandfather in his life a lot, and his grandfather was actually really physically abusive, just like beat the crap out of him all the time. And when he was about 20 or 21, he ended up going to jail for accepting stolen goods. And while he was in jail, his grandfather actually passed away. Excuse me. His grandfather passed away. He requested to get a day out of jail to be able to go to the funeral, which they allowed. And during the service, I guess everything was kind of fine afterwards. Like he was uncomfortable because he really just didn't like his grandfather very much. Afterwards, at the reception, I guess it would be, or reception, whatever it's called afterwards. It was really something like that, yeah. But it was really starting to bother him more and more how everybody was going on about like, oh, he was such a great guy, blah, blah, blah. So he left because he was still out of jail, even though he wasn't supposed to leave. He went to a friend's house. They were a married couple. And while he was there, a lot of weird shit started happening. Let's see, what was the first one? Because I know I'm going to skip the first one for some reason because the second one got really cool. Oh, okay, I remember now. Okay, I guess he went into the bathroom. They were going to have dinner. And he went into the restroom to start, like, washing up for dinner. And he felt, like, chills go up and down his spine. And while he was washing his hands, he felt like a vacuum in the bathroom. Like everything was being sucked out of the bathroom. And it happened really quick. And out of the corner of his eye, he saw, like, the silhouette of an old man wearing a crown staring in at him and laughing. And he's like, this is fucking weird. So he's like trying to leave the bathroom and he ends up with like getting these scratches on his forearm. And his guy friend asked him like, what happened? He was like, nothing. They sat to eat dinner and all of a sudden, water started dripping down the walls. And they're like, oh shit, like a pipe burst or something. So they call the landlord over. The landlord's like, there are no pipes in the ceiling. So it can't be a water leak. This is weird. And I guess out of nowhere, like the water started going back up the wall and into the ceiling. And the landlord's like, I don't know what to do about this shit. We got to call the cops. So the cops show up and the cops are like, we don't know what to do about this shit either. So they have all these witnesses to this occurrence that's happening with this water going back up the wall and into the ceiling. So the cops take off. I guess they go to a diner and some weird shit happens there. They go back to the house. He stays the night and goes back to jail the next day. And I guess he was able to make it. They call him Rain Man because they say he's able to make it rain down the walls. And in his cells, I guess several officers. Yeah, I know. I kept thinking of that too. Make it rain in my cell. Make it rain. Commissaries. Cinnabons. Anyway, I guess a few inmates and officers were able to account for, witnessing like the water and shit going down the wall just when he wanted it to. But he kept saying that like he didn't control it. Mm-hmm. It was just happening when people were like daring him to do it or asking him to do it. Mm-hmm. And I guess one of I don't know if it was an officer or an inmate, they dared him to make it rain in the warden's office. And he did. And I guess the warden got really annoyed and was disturbed by it at the same time and had a chaplain come in and exorcise him.
Weird.
And since that day, I guess it has, and I guess it was like a big deal too. It was kind of like, he's bashing and making noises and shit. And I guess he's never been able to make it rain again since. But supposedly this is a true story.
Weird.
I don't know, but supposedly this event happened. So.
Where was it at again? Vicky's asking.
Pennsylvania. I think it's called Stroutenburg, Pennsylvania, in 1983.
So you're telling me that Pennsylvania had a human being who could make it rain, and they just totally forgot about us.
Right?
We've needed.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
What kind of political?
They said, "Fuck California."
Yeah. What kind of mind games are they trying to play with this? Like, oh, we don't even want rain. We're gonna exercise this demon.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed because California needs that right now. A lot of places need that. We're in a fucking drought, and this asshole can make it rain in a cell whenever he wants to.
Come on, my butternut squash. I'm tired of wasting my water.
My butternut squash.
Every day.
Oh my god.
I have some big ass butternut squash plants, by the way. So when they're ready, if you guys want some, you can have some.
Dude,
I
my
love
dad's
squash.
growing zucchini, and I'm so zucchini out right now.
I don't have very many.
This guy.
They're like
My-
one of them is like this big though, and it's like this big around. Like
Oh, nice.
So I like the sound of that.
butternut
pretty
squash,
love
I like to chop it up. Oh, my dogs love it. I can give it to my dogs.
I make pasta sauce out of it.
Pasta. I was gonna try to learn how to make that butternut thing, like that dish from Macaroni Grill. There's like a butternut squash and like an Alfredo-y, like a cheesy dish.
I've never been there, so I don't
Sounds fancy.
know.
Excited. It's I don't know. It's okay.
So,
It's
that
like
sounds good.
Chili's, but like Italian.
Okay.
Or like a Red Lobster, but Italian. It's like a chain. So
I
it's
love Red Lobster, so
it's
I'm down.
better than Olive Garden.
I fucking hate Olive Garden. I don't like that kind of shit. Like, the only reason why I like Red Lobster is 'cause it's the closest thing to seafood I'm going to get really here in town. And their biscuits. That's about it.
Those cheesy biscuits.
Yeah.
Damn, biscuits.
But now it's even to the point where, like, you can buy the box of that shit at home. Like, if you don't feel like making it yourself, you can either use Bisquick with, like, the fucking grated cheese in it, or you can actually buy the Red Lobster butter babe cheesy biscuit garlic things. Like, I just buy them bitches. I don't even go there anymore.
I made them several times. Yeah, they're pretty dang good. But Vicky is on my side. It's exactly what she was thinking when you asked about someone who could really use some rain. Yeah, they could really use some rain right now. But at the same time, of all things to be scared of, water running down walls and back up. I don't know.
Why
Would you be
not?
scared of that?
That's fucking creepy though.
Yeah,
Like-
it's creepy.
Because
If it
that
happens
means
to me,
that
yeah.
anything like it could mean that, you know, if somebody were to see that and had already been like eerie and superstitious of like ghosts and things, and they saw that, they're like automatically convinced. It's like, dude, how can you not be? That's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
That's a strong point. That is definitely a good
It's
point.
hard to describe. Like, how do you explain that? How do you explain water going up something?
He's
You can't.
got a lot of cousins, and they're all using straws to spit down the wall, and then they suck it back up real fast.
I
Boom.
can see that. Your
That
house.
sounds like Pennsylvania to me right there. I'm just saying.
Because they got nothing better to do.
Yeah, no, that's a really hard one to explain. I'm sure people have tried along with the story or with the accounts, but yeah, that's a hard one. It's not like someone saying, "Oh, I can speak in different languages," or when someone says they levitate, you see a picture of it, it's just them in the air. You can't really prove how they got in the air like that.
Yeah.
Like in the Ensfield cases in
Oh, yeah, in England? Yeah,
England,
those were, yeah, where they, like, televised it and shit.
yeah. But a lot
That
of it was
was
just the pictures after the fact, though. You know, it wasn't during what was going on. So
Mhm.
if you really had people saying that they saw water go down a wall and then back up with no explanation on how, like you don't see pumps, there's no real way to explain it away. That one feels pretty dang good to the yes.
And in the jail, too. And in the jail.
Yeah,
And in
jail.
the warden's office. And supposedly the warden was like, yeah. I mean, I'd like to look into it, like, a little bit more. But from the few things that I did see of it, they all say the same thing pretty much. So,
Yeah, that is intense. That's an intense one.
no. Some weird stuff in the world. Who knows? 2020, anything can happen at this point. Jetpack. No.
Jetpack. Start a petition. Where's our
Right.
jetpacks?
Motherfucking
I
jetpack.
don't trust myself with my Jan Sport backpack. All right, I don't think I need a jetpack yet. I'm gonna lose that stuff. I'm gonna run into walls. Yeah, no, thank you for
How
Miguel.
much stuff did you lose in Vegas, do you think?
Less than I expected. I lost one thing coming back.
I lost a jacket. I was very upset.
I know. I'm
But
sorry,
it
and
was
I have your
free.
swimsuit, by the way. I think at some point we bought you a one-piece swimsuit.
Oh, yeah.
Did
Yeah.
we?
Yeah, I guess because I still have.
I think. Oh, wait. Did we?
Yeah, because I have it in my room right now.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I don't remember seeing it after that night.
I remember looking at one and I was like, "That's fucking cute."
Yeah,
I remember
no, I have it.
that
It says
Frankie
hungover on it. Yeah. Oh my God, we're degenerates. Oh my
Those
gosh.
were fun times.
Yeah, it was. That was good stuff.
I miss you guys. Do you guys want to giggle at something real quick?
I want to laugh.
In Kansas, Missouri,
Missouri.
December 30th, 2000, in Kansas, Missouri. Kansas City cop went to a bar called Flamingo, and he was watching his friend. I guess he had a friend in a band or something. He was going to a place to, watch his friend, and he was being supportive of his friend. A man came from outside into the bar, screaming that he got robbed along with another individual who I guess stayed outside. But he had said, like, I've been robbed, and so the cop went outside, called for backup. It seemed that the suspect was still sitting in the car because he didn't know how to drive stick shift. He was trying to carjack this guy, but he couldn't drive the car away. So he ended up wrestling the cop, getting out, trying to run away. Not run away at first, but he was in a gunfight with the cop. He thought that he was gonna shoot at this cop, but the first round he fired, there wasn't a gun in that chamber or a bullet in the chamber. So he shot, nothing happened, and he had already aimed his gun at the police officer and was going to shoot, so the cop shot him at A9. I mean, it's his fault that the fucking bullet wasn't in the chamber, first of all. Well, not first of all. He tried to challenge the cop. He tried to steal a car from someone. He tried to challenge a cop. There's so many things that I can giggle at that he fucking fucked up here. Yeah. Haha.
This guy sounds like a real criminal mastermind.
He had this planned out. Kansas City, haha. That's what it gets.
Good.
Yeah.
Be dead. Hey, Lonnie, how you doing?
He fucked up.
Yeah, just a little bit. In every aspect, he could have possibly been a criminal.
It's fucking a wig.
And almost a murder, because there was a bullet in that, chamber, and he shot that cop. He could have got that cop him. So that's kind of what you get, because I mean that officer don't know what's going on, and
absolutely not. Like there
shooting
were bullets in the gun, but not the first.
Yeah.
Like in the chamber, for whatever reason, what a fucking retard.
What a dummy.
I know retard isn't political.
The R word
these days.
I think it fits him more than anybody else out there, I think.
Yeah.
So.
But isn't retarded technically it's a word in the dictionary that's used.
I don't think anybody is even labeled retarded anymore because they've figured out so many different things going on.
There's
Down
syndrome. They don't even really
that guy is
challenged anymore because there's diagnoses for things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I say retard as in your level of intelligence has retarded.
I'm sure saying stupid at one point was a bad word. Like, oh, you said the S word, called someone stupid. I'm sure, and now it's to the point where retarded has appreciated in value, so it's okay to say it. So.
Yeah. I guess imbecile was a diagnosis as well in the past.
Imbecile. Oh my gosh.
They used to call people with Down syndrome mongoloids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Heard that one before. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Those are derogatory words, not retard.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, we could do a whole episode just on old timey diagnosis, like hysteria because a woman read too many books or something.
Oh my
Like,
god, and the treatment for that? Oh
Write
my
that
lord.
down. Write that down.
Yeah.
Write it down. Oh, you like that, huh? Look. Stupid.
Shit. So our topic tonight, guys, is basically like gossip magazines that actually had true stories, you know, or pretty damn close to being completely true stories.
Right.
And yeah, I was kind of wondering, like, why is it that these, you know, these fake news, you know, magazines could be out? And I guess a lot of them have been sued for some of the true stories they did put out there and some of the fake stories they put out there.
Oh yeah.
But I guess a lot of celebrities will not even really engage with that shit, whether or not it's real. Because if it is real or if there is some validity to it, and they make a scene about it and say, hey, I'm going to sue you for saying that, it could expose way more than what the magazine would have.
Right.
And if there is no truth to it and they make a deal about it, then it brings more light in a negative way, like, oh, well, maybe you did. Why are you trying to hide something? And da, da, da. So a lot of these people just kind of leave it alone. But there have been people who have sued. So I guess they just kind of found a loophole to get away with shit. So
well, I know one story, I guess. OJ, he had a book that he supposedly wrote about admitting to the murder of his girlfriend and her lover. Mm-hmm. But his lawyers denied, and the National Enquirer actually knew about it, and they published that he had a book coming out. And, you know, then it eventually did come out, and then it didn't last very long on the shelves.
And they actually did a TV show on Fox for it, of him talking about it, because the book was called, because he wanted to kind of backtrack a little bit and go, if I did do it or something, if I did it, that's what it's called. Thank you, Miguel. But yeah, he tried to do this thing on Fox. I want to say it was Fox. I'm pretty sure they did a whole bunch of like tabloidy type shows for a long time. They were basically the same way. Some were real, some were fake, some kind of had some. But he tried to backtrack a little bit and kind of narrate through it, like, if I did it. I'm trying to say, if I did do it, this is what had happened. So, and this is why I did it. Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't say, like, you wouldn't say the first thing that someone asks you, would you kill your boyfriend? No, of course not. Instead, they're like, oh, if I were to kill them, I would do this and blah, blah, blah. Like,
oh, you're saying you've never thought of it? No.
No. But, I mean, typically, like, if you're interrogated by police or someone, you know, anyone, you would be like, no, I would never fucking do that.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Well, that's funny you brought up an OJ one, because I actually have an OJ one that the National Enquirer had actually picked up. Yeah, so that's kind of funny, because I didn't know about that one, but the National Enquirer actually, when the OJ trials were going on, there was a pair of shoes that were brought in as part of evidence, and they were saying that these were the shoes that were used the night by the killer, and they were OJ shoes.
Yeah. In the crime scene.
Yeah, the crime scene. And OJ was like, those shoes are ugly. I would never wear those shoes, blah, 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 blah. Like, just straight talking shit on these shoes, right? I would never wear those shoes. Well, really? The National Enquirer actually went out of their way to dig up an interview that he was in 8 months prior, him wearing those exact same shoes.
They were the oh shit.
I got the name right here.
Brown
shoes.
Bruno Magli.
Bruno Magli shoes.
Yeah. And they are ugly ass shoes.
He wore them at a 1993 Buffalo Bills game. And they were able to pull that up. And so in the trial, right, didn't he have to... He basically had to admit it, right?
I don't know. You could still lie.
Well, yeah.
I think the OJ...
I guess by the time, like, okay, so they found out he was wearing the shoes, and then by the time of his civil trial in 1993, like, he was basically forced to admit that he owned a pair of those shoes.
Okay, so he admitted
it. Didn't like 100% link him to those shoes, but like he had to confess in court that he owned a pair of those shoes.
At least say you own. We can deny still that you were there, but just at least say that you own the shoes because they got you on fucking film, dude. So
I guarantee he had fucking people looking out for him for whatever reason.
Absolutely. Absolutely he did. He was like a really, really, really big NFL player. Like for a really long time. Yeah. So he was like kind of like the whole Aaron Rodgers kind of thing. Like a lot of people were just like, oh no, he couldn't have done this, blah, 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 blah. Like we got his back. It's because he's got money and who he is. And
and then no, he absolutely was defended the entire time. He was not just a football player, but he was also making movies. He was a public celebrity. He did endorsements. He was the entire centerpiece of the Hertz car rental company's public relations program at the time. When he did it, he totally did it. I'm not gonna say if he totally did it. And
we all no.
Yeah, he was definitely locked into a lot of stuff, and people didn't want to believe it because everyone loved the guy. But it turned out he was a double murderer, and not too long ago, people forget this. He actually also did. I know this isn't part of the, National Enquirer stories, but he did a hidden camera show called Juiced, which was exactly the same plot as Jamie Kennedy's. You got X or whatever.
Juice was his nickname, right?
Yeah, where he would go around pranking people. And then at the end of it, you got juiced. And
shut up.
100%. I'm trying to find the clip right now. Of what
fake.
Well, he got in trouble like a couple of years back too. What was it, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago? He got into some trouble because a pawn shop, I think it was in Vegas, a pawn shop had some of his memorabilia in it. And there was some kind of deal of trying to get it back or some shit, but he ended up like going back and robbing the pawn shop to get his shit back, and he got arrested and went back to jail.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
good.
If that doesn't say guilty, I don't fucking know what does.
Right?
Like, I don't know what guilty means anymore.
Oh yeah, Charles is right. The Khloe Kardashian's dad.
Yeah.
Speaking of, thank you for that.
Yeah, I know we're going into super
I know
OJ tangent, but it's because there's so much to talk about this guy. About 3 years ago,
I know. This isn't the OJ podcast.
But it's so much because I love telling the story. I got to meet him.
You guys don't like getting juiced?
I was in Vegas.
OJ?
Getting juiced? That sounds like another fucking porno.
I don't think he ever got into those. I don't know though. I don't know for sure.
But that's what it sounds like. It almost sounds like a lesbian porno. Getting juiced.
I would have thought like two dudes in a gym.
That too. Yeah. It's either a lesbian or a fucking steroid fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to picture any of that. None of it. Oh God.
We should be producers.
If you guys get into the porn business producing, I will not be there. I'm sorry. I'm booking it.
Okay, we'll see.
They're gonna yell at me until I do it. Gosh dang it. I'm not being in your juiced porn. It's not happening. And I don't care how many buff dudes you get.
Did you hear about MJ's death in
With
any of these tabloids?
with the TMZ one?
Apparently, the National Enquirer gave MJ, Michael Jackson, about 6 months to live. And
Oh.
within that 6 months, he passed away.
Yeah.
They were calling it drugs and alcohol, which we ended up finding out later on that it was an overdose of sleeping pills, which
Yeah, that
prescribed by a doctor. So
yeah. Funny you should talk about Michael Jackson.
Shit.
Got one of Michael Jackson.
Miguel gets used.
Miguel's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Miguel Jackson. Miguel Jackson.
Miguel Jackson.
Because
Rodriguez.
a J is a H sound in Spanish.
I don't like any of this. I'm very nervous for myself.
Oh my god.
I'll make mine quick. Well, I guess the day that Michael Jackson died, TMZ found out about it first, and they instantly reported it. And that, what's his name? Harvey Levins? Harvey Levins? Something like Levinstein? Levins? So anyway, the main little guy that runs around with his little water cup all the time.
Not Weinstein.
No, not that one. I stopped for a second because I was with there. But anyway, I guess like he kept calling like people in relation to Michael Jackson who was like pretty much there and keeping updates and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they kept posting it like every single second they would get an update, they were posting it. And every other news station was saying, oh no, he's at the Staples Center's rehearsing. Like every news station said he is fine. He is at the Staples Center rehearsing for a show. And TMZ was the only station that said, nah, homeboy's checked out. Like he's gone.
That's irresponsible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought it was crazy though, because they were literally, I mean, out of all these news stations, I mean, I know a lot of them are like monopolized. You know, they're like basically under like one corporation that just, you know, tells them all what to say and shit. But
there's like one person that owns 5 different companies.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I thought that was crazy. They were literally like the only one. And TMZ is super into like celebrity gossip. And some of it, well, a lot of it is, you know, dramatized for, you know, headline and to, you know, catch your attention and shit. But I guess that was one time they were like completely 100% on top of it, accurate.
Yeah, I mean, his name is Harvey Levin, the guy you're thinking of.
Okay.
And yeah, I think just because they knew what it was going on, maybe they could have been a little, what's the word, a little more dignified about it, I guess. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just, yeah, you turn, granted, he's one of the most popular people who ever lived, most well-known, but you could have given him a little bit of dignity there. Pretty bad how they handled that. And I didn't realize they were the first ones to announce it. I thought they just kind of hopped in afterwards and just didn't stop with the story, just kind of hammered away at it.
Oh no, I read they were like supposedly the first ones that like put it out there, and everybody else was like, oh no, he's at the Staples Center rehearsing, he's fine.
That's crazy. That's just
no, it's cool. No. Nothing to see here.
It's like, God, go get the clone quick. Go get the clone quick.
We need to make the money quick.
Okay, well, now they just do holograms. They'll be performing forever.
Money. Last one, I think Steve Jobs. The National Enquirer posted photos of him super frail, super skinny, super sickly looking, months and months before he had even come out basically saying that he was dying.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, like, there's some of that. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily like, oh, these people knew before everyone. It's like, of course they did, because they're like paparazzi. They're paid to, like, stalk people and invade their personal space and get in there and learn things about them and fucking all this shit. Like, I feel bad for people that don't want people to know that they're fucking sick. And they want to tell people on their own time. You know what I mean? Like this to me makes me mad because I feel like these people didn't have their privacy. I mean, some of it, they didn't deserve it, but other people, I feel like, you know, these kind of tabloids and shit, they're like not. They're not giving people privacy. They're having people follow them around.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about Steve Jobs, for instance, like I don't think he was a squeaky clean guy. I'm sure he had some skeletons in the closet, but for the most part, I don't think anyone had that much bad to say about Steve Jobs. Like that's the kind of guy. Like, yeah, maybe he did deserve a little bit of privacy.
I'm sure he was a perv in his own way. I'm sure he had fucking his own demons, or maybe he wasn't a perv. Maybe he was just angry, or maybe he was just really sad, or whatever. You know,
a thief.
Maybe he stole his entire empire from someone else and like killed that other dude. So
he stole my pooter.
He stole your pooter.
He stole my pooter.
I'm like coughing it. I'm laughing at the same time.
But let me get to my other one here because I had one that crazy one. I got one here about Rush Limbaugh. For those who don't know, he's a radio host.
Yeah, him being addicted to pills and shit.
Yeah.
Apparently he had been for a while.
It's a little bad.
And I don't know. You go ahead.
No, that's pretty much you're pretty much on the money. But he didn't actually admit to it right away. He denied it like most people would anyway. You know, if you're not willing to kind of give some up, you're going to deny. But
good old NI knew. National Enquirer. Oh wait,
they get to the bottom. Yeah. No.
The rock bottom shit.
But I don't know if this is good on them or if it's still kind of shitty on them. But either way, he went for treatment not too long after the story broke. So
okay.
I don't know if in a way they helped the guy or if they just forced him into something he had to do.
Or maybe it was right timing.
Or right time, yeah. It might have just been like he was ready for it anyway. So I don't know. Either way, I mean, I don't care for him all that much. I'm not a big Rush Limbaugh fan, but the fact that because he's very well respected in his circle.
He's a fat old white man.
Yeah, that's basically all he is.
With privilege. How dare he have privilege?
Damn it. Oh my God. Yeah, it's just another one of those things that before credible news sources out there had it, they knew before anybody else, which is mind-blowing because then I think they know other stuff like right here. Let me go. I'm gonna screen share this real quick. Where is it? Blam. All of these people. National Enquirer running scandals on political people, and their headline here, all of these things are probably true about these people right here. All of it.
Absolutely.
Or stories that we should be fully invested in.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how I think everything on this little list right here, except for maybe I don't know what a gay sex arrest is. I don't understand what that is. But, the rest of it, I think it's pretty much believed by a lot of people, if not just true. But then they run stories like this one, if it's the same one. Oh, this is a Weekly World, sorry.
Oh yeah.
But they're more just crazy, Weekly World. But that's
Bat Boy. You gotta bring up Bat Boy. That was my jam growing up. I had to know every week what was happening to Bat Boy.
I will look him up real quick, yeah, so everyone can see a
Bat
picture.
Boy sent in to get Saddam Hussein and shit.
Yes, I saw that cover.
Did you see that one? My grandma used to get it every fucking week. Like, it never failed. Like, she would always get it. That, her bottle of Black Velvet, and her case of Coca-Cola. Jesus Christ, thank you, Grandma. But it was always like, she always had to read through the rag mags, and then she'd leave them all on the coffee table and It's like, I want to see what happened to Bat Boy.
That's so fucking great. The fact that you called them rag mags, because I'm gonna call them that for as long as I live now.
That's
Like,
what my parents always called them. Like, because
that's the new shit. Like, I don't know what it means. I'm assuming it means because you're a lady on the rag who likes to read this shit. I don't know, rag mag.
like dirty laundry, like a rag, like a dirty rag. Airing dirty laundry.
Yeah, rag mag. Ah.
Yeah.
I thought on the rag or dirty rags, like either one. I thought it was good. So I'm gonna think of you every time I read one of them.
There it is, right there. Okay, this is the one I remember seeing right here. Bat Boy led our troops to Saddam's hole.
Yeah.
That could be said in so many different ways. A little weird.
Led our troops. Was he being seductive?
I think so.
Leading them.
He lured Saddam out of his hole and pulled him right out.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's terrible. But yeah, this goes into the definitely not true side of it. But come on, that's a lot. That's too much not to read. And I think is it Gary? Yeah, Gary right here asking.
Hey, someone else wrote it, not me.
That's, do they still have Inquirer still running? I think it is. I'm pretty positive.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote it and then I realized, I don't know why it keeps putting, every time I'm on every week, it always puts me as Girls Gore and Jen. I have to go up and manually change it to me. So it was me. Sorry, guys.
By the way, I'm retarded and I said inquirers and I didn't spell enquirers correctly.
Oh, I think
I wouldn't be able to. So if you see inquirers, it's not me. Or it is.
Oh my gosh! Real quick, and, yeah, we're not the only ones. Yeah, see, Alex over on YouTube remembers this stuff too. Yeah, I had so much fun going to the grocery store and like looking at these. I never bought any of them. I just like thumb through it real quick while you're waiting in line. Back when you could touch things, you know.
Yeah. After you've already bugged your parents a million times for like other little candy items, are like no, so you got to sit there and pout. So you look over and you're like, well, I'll just like stand and look at this magazine.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, Charlie, right here. I'm so happy that when World Weekly News posted something about someone breaking into Kern County Museum. I don't remember what the article was.
Oh,
I'll see what I can do about that. Let me see if I
Okay.
can't find something. I'll be right back, guys. You keep talking. I'm not going to leave. I'm just going to look at the other side, another screen real quick.
Well, that one probably is true because a lot of shit gets broken into in Bakersfield, especially where that shit sits right there, like off the mouth of Oildale.
Yeah, it's not like
It's getting broken into. I mean, that happens all the time to people that I know.
I am. Dang it! I'm not
No,
seeing anything.
Shit. Well, Charles, if you can find it later on, maybe send it to us and we can put it as like a supplemental post or something later on.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, I'm giving it a once over real quick just in case.
Does
But-
anyone have anything that they would like to add while we're getting this shit?
Into. Come on.
Nope.
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 Nope. Sorry, guys.
Sorry,
It
I
looks
was trying to ask if anyone had anything to add before we're doing this. I'm like, nope. I didn't either.
Dang it. Nope.
My bad.
Yeah. It's going to take a much deeper dive than that. Yeah, but I'm very curious to see what they had to say about the museum. I'm sure there was something. I'm sure they had something about Kern County in that magazine at some point. It'd be hard not
Aliens.
to. Aliens, method, same thing. Bet it black.
Aliens or meth heads? Is that what you said?
Why not? What's wrong with that? Maybe they see something you don't, Joe. Don't judge.
Because they have tiny, thin little bodies and big ass heads.
Well, if I actually lost more weight like I'm supposed to, I would have a big ass head and a small body.
Hey, you know what? Lollipop bodies is very common in people that are they have malnutrition. So there you go.
Yeah, that was
Malnutrition myth.
Richard over in Texas talking about Men in Black, how they used to use those rag mags for real news. I liked that little touch that they added to those movies. I thought that was pretty cool. I've only seen the first two. I apologize. I have not seen like the other 5 or whatever they have of Men in Black. But yeah. Oh, excuse me. And the guy said he was a ghost or something when he was caught into looking for it too. Oh my goodness! So someone broke in, and when they caught him, he said he was a ghost.
What a dumbass!
That probably was just a regular news, honestly, at that point.
Well, there was on 1,000 Ways to Die. Do you guys remember that segment from 1,000 Ways to Die where they had one from here?
Oh, that's great. I was just gonna say, like, that's a fucking, like, that's a death.
That's such a Bakersfield thing to happen. So yeah, right there, yeah.
Oh my god.
Idiot.
What?
Just telling someone that you're a ghost and then they shoot you.
I'm still curious. What is the 1,000 Ways to Die one?
Oh, well, it was like a tire shop, and there was a guy there that was like, addicted to porn. So he would always like go fuck around in the back, like, I'm gonna go fix tires and shit, go check tires, and he'd like take the magazines out there. And he had tires, like he was airing up tires, and he was sitting on one and wasn't paying attention because he was like looking at a fucking nudie magazine. It overinflated and exploded.
I remember you telling this story, Joe. You're not tripping. Like, he's just.
I'm forgetting.
Yeah, like,
yes.
No, it's okay. I mean, we've talked about so much shit, but no, like, yeah. So yeah, I can see that shit happening here. Like, you get caught. Oh my god. Oh, this is floating. It's so scary. Oh.
Wait, that sounds like that's a plot to an episode of Bob's Burger. That's the one where the paranormal guys come in there like, we can't pay for our services. We've been dead for 20 years.
Right?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to try that one of these days. I got an old
floating. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can see that shit happening.
Jeez. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he could have just been wearing a sheet and went boo once in a while. Although, for those who aren't in our area, you should come to the Kern Museum sometime and go to the old, I believe it's an Elk Lodge and a Freemason Lodge. They show an old replica of the building from when they used to have more Freemason meetings here in Kern County. If you go upstairs, it is the creepiest damn thing you will ever see. They have the full-on robes, which look unbelievably a lot like a certain other group of people in the U.S. who used to wear full-on cloaks and pointy hats. I'm not going to mention them, but these were just purple and dark red, and they had a full Masonic temple built up there, and it's still there right now. We can go and check it out, and it is. I literally, like, because I went there with my little brother when he was like 5, and we were just going through museum, and he kind of ran up the stairs ahead of us and stopped like halfway where his head just poking in and kind of froze there. And before I could see what was in there, I could tell he was weirded out. And I started feeling uncomfortable walking up these. And it's just a really weird energy being in that one room. Like, I want to go back, but I don't at the same time. Because
there's still a lot of Masonic halls here. There's still a lot of practicing Masonic members here.
Yeah.
We need to do it.
I think we should go check it out. I think that would be a good thing. I don't know if it's open right now, but we should get over there sometime.
Might as well.
I actually I got the info to one of the members about joining the Freemasons here in Kern County, because they do have their lodge still in that building that they rent out mainly now for like event hall basically. But it's a really nice building. I've been there a few times when we were doing private events, like I was doing photography for stuff. And I kind of always wanted to check it out because it's not as it's not as hidden as it used to be, because there's very few members compared to what it used to be, and it's very open. But you do have to talk to people about it in order to learn about it. You can't just like look online and find everything.
Right.
It's got to be member to member kind of thing. But it's not like they're taking over the world. It's just a closed off group, you know. So it'd be interesting to find out a little more of the history to it from people who have heard it passed down. That's what I would love.
Right.
I heard that it's different for people who are like generational members than people who are just joining. You know what I'm saying? Like your dad was a Freemason and your grandfather was a Freemason, and then they're the people who just come, like they're just recruited off the street. Like I heard it's kind of different for those sets of people, if that makes sense.
That too.
Yeah, no, similar story, yeah. Because I was actually in God, it was back in Vegas again, and Lil Tipsy took a cab back to the hotel, and the driver was actually from Bakersfield, and how he got his start in Vegas because he didn't know anybody. He got a divorce and moving on to a new life. The lodge over there took care of him. They got him his job, his card, a place to stay for a couple months, and they take care of each other. But he definitely wasn't generational like we're talking about right now. He was one of those guys who joined to be a part of something, and that was very interesting because he seemed like a very normal dude. But I'm guessing some of the other members might not be as normal as he was. That's what it feels like.
It's weird. I went to one when I was like 9, maybe. And I went with my neighbors across the street because they were members. But it was in the Bay Area. It wasn't here in Bakersfield. So I don't know what these were like. But it was weird. It felt kind of like going to church, but like a dog and pony parade at the same time.
I love ponies.
So, I know, right? And my dad was part of
after high school.
But my dad was part of one of their groups, like because they have youth groups, kind of. Well, I mean, basically, it is like a youth group. So if you're not an adult and you're in like the Freemason, like a family of Freemasons or whatever, and you want to be a part of it as well, the boys have their own group, kind of like the Boy Scouts, but they're called the Demolays. I think that's how we pronounce it, the Demolays. And then the girls, which is kind of like the Girl Scouts, and they're called the Rainbows. So, and they have their own meetings that they go to, and it's their own club that they do until they're old enough to be full-on Masonic members.
That I had no idea. Okay, that's another episode now we have to do. Gosh dang it.
Yeah, and I did get to I went to one event, like I said earlier, like with the neighbors across the street because they were members. My dad only went as far as basically as a teenager doing their group because I guess he wanted to join. I don't know if my grandfather was part of it. I didn't really get into it with them, but I guess I could now.
Do it.
I'll talk to him about it more, I suppose. But yeah, I got to go to one meeting, and it was like the whole families went, but it was focused for the Rainbows. I don't really remember what it was really about, but it was like, you know how you watch the dog shows on TV where it's like the little, like there's the little stage in the middle, and then there's like the border wall, and people stand behind it as a crowd.
Yeah.
And the girls would come out, and if you're a girl, you have to wear a dress. Like even if you're a guest, you have to wear a nice, like a church dress. And the boys have to wear slacks and nice button-up shirts and shit. And it feels very churchy. And so like these girls would walk in age groups, like from youngest to oldest, and it and they'd be in dresses, and they'd walk around in a square, and they would get to certain points at the square, and there would be like head members, and they get to the point, and they're walking in sync with one another, and they get to them, and they would bow, and then they turn, and they walk along the wall again, and they get to another point, and they get to some more like head members, and then they bow, and it was just, they went in a circle, and then the older girls would come in, and it would go all the way up to the oldest girls, which were usually like 16, 17 years old.
Okay, yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was very, very weird. So
you got to hold all this because we are at time, and we need a whole episode about this. Yeah, we need it. We need this in my life.
Yeah,
All right,
sorry
guys,
about the
yeah.
tangent.
Save that because that's not okay, and we
we
have
saw
to do like
Oh, I'll get more.
detective work on bringing these motherfuckers down now.
Well,
No.
if we can't bring them down, I might just join. Then it sounds pretty fun. I'm all for dog shows.
I'm not trying to be combative. I'm just trying to be protective of my friends. So if I'm out of line, then whatever. But if I'm trying to protect people, then I'm okay.
All right, but that's gonna wrap it for us, guys. We are at time.
I know we've been over time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like that much. It's all good.
Jesus. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you guys follow us, like, subscribe, share. You know what to do.
All that stuff, all top to bottom, and don't actually go squish any dog shit.
No.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one, and we'll talk to you later.